So in my last pedicure video, my big toes were kind of short and misshapen. Fortunately, they grew out. My other toes, however, they broke. So today I thought I'd show you guys how to do an extension at home and get the perfect shape. The first thing that I'm going to do is actually address my calluses because I walk around barefoot like it is my job. If you saw my first ever pedicure video, then you know that I usually prefer to do a dry pedicure, meaning I only used an e-file because it allows me to address my dry skin quickly rather than having to soak my feet, which don't get me wrong, I love it, just don't always have time for it. But if you don't have an e-file, don't worry, you can still absolutely do this or use any of the steps that I show in my pedicure video for rough, dry feet. So I'm also going to use bits to do my cuticle work, not just because it's a time saver, but also because whenever you put any type of enhancement on your natural nails, you do actually want to make sure that they're dry. And you can still soak your feet. You just want to give yourself a little bit of time before you actually apply your extension. So the first bit that I am using is a carborundum bit. And what this is doing is lifting any dead tissue, aka cuticle. However, the great thing about this bit is that it does not file away any of your natural nail. So as you can see, when I run it over the surface of my nail, nothing happens. However, when I run it over the cuticle area, it picks up all of the eponychium. And then I move over to what's called a guide bit. And this is perfect for getting any dead skin on your lateral nail folds, which is basically just the skin on either side of your toenail. So of course I repeat that process on all of my toes and then I shape them. Again, if you want to know how I do that, then you can just check out my DIY pedicure video for rough, dry feet, which I will link in the cards and is probably popping up on the screen right now, but I'll also put it in the description box. I remove the cuticle by either using nippers or a ball diamond bit. And now finally we're ready to do the extension, but first we actually need to prep the nail. To do that, I first use a dehydrator, which is basically just going to remove any oil that may be sitting on the surface of the nail. So if you don't have it, regular nail polish remover or acetone will work. Just wipe the surface of your nails and then you can move on to actually applying your gel. I'm going to be using a polygel. And this is basically a combination of gel and acrylic. And the reason that I'm using this is because it's really easy to manipulate and you don't have to be a pro to use it. So after applying it to the nail, I take a brush that I have dampened with alcohol to gently pat the gel from side to side so that it covers the width of my nail. And by doing this, I'm also simultaneously kind of moving the gel up towards my cuticle a little bit. Then using the tip of my brush, I'm going to work the gel around the cuticle line, making sure that it's really flush with my natural nail, that you don't see any distinction between my cuticle area and where I've actually started the extension. And once I'm happy with that, I gently swipe the brush down, which is going to create your extension length. And because this hand motion can naturally drop the gel down, I then use the brush on the underside of the extension to slightly pick it up. This will create an extension that looks like it's naturally growing out instead of a nail that looks like it's growing on a curve. And also it'll keep the gel from touching your skin, which it shouldn't be doing. And then I cure that for 30 seconds in an LED lamp, but you can also use UV. What I failed to show you is that you then want to wipe the surface with your alcohol. Then you can go on to shaping the nail. Now again, for ease, I'm using my e-file, but you can absolutely do this with the hand file. And in fact, if you guys want me to show you that, comment below part 2. Just go over the surface until you take down the bulk of it, meaning that your extension looks really natural and is not super thick. So once I have the shape perfect, then we're ready to paint. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know exactly what color we're doing because not only is it in the thumbnail, but I asked you guys on Insta stories in the polls and the majority of you voted for the yellow, which I am absolutely obsessed with. The color that I'm using here is from Pear and this color is called Lemon Drop Logic. And I went for 2 coats of these because I wanted a really bright yellow. It looks like a satin finish here, but really it's more of a jelly texture, which basically just means that it's not sheer, but it's also not opaque either. I think it looks gorgeous and I don't even have a tan yet. Now, if you are one of the people who took the poll and you really wanted to see the python nails, don't worry, I'm still going to do those. And I promise you guys, it is ridiculously easy. You absolutely don't need any hand drawing skills to do it. So if you're not already, make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.